First, with all this running through the park, we get helpful conversations with our supposed villain named Crowley.
The name's Crowley.
No, not that Crowley. This one is some random psycho.
Crowley here. Crowley? So you're still alive? I guess those fissures didn't feel like eating up like you, huh? Shut up.
Hi, Edward. Why are you openly taunting this guy? I mean, I know he's meant to be the bad guy, but he is the one who took your memory, has been able to avoid the cracks and hide somewhere, and is also able to track your phone, adding to the fact that he's just called you. I mean, is it really such a smart idea to, get in hostilities with this guy? Why don't you pretend to help him, and then stab him in the back, as opposed to, openly waving your dick in his face? Because that's not the smart option here.
Morons!
Eventually you find someone with access to medical records who can shed some light on Edward's history.
You're kidding. I mean, you're like 100 years old.
What? Why the hell is he 100 years old? I mean, that might be wanting to make me angry, but that's just stupid. I mean, what is the point in making him 100? I get that the original games happened in the 1924, so it kind of makes sense. But that's only the first game. I mean, that doesn't make this make any sense. And on a bigger level, that also means that the games previous don't really exist. He only exists in that game, and he mysteriously vanishes. I'm pretty sure things like paranormal activities on an island with big Abkhani symbols, like in 1991's New Nightmare, I will get to it, those would probably be reported by the paper, or, to the government, or something. That's so stupid. And you know what? They don't even explain why he's 100. I never found the explanation. Yell at me if you want that he is in there somewhere, but it's not well presented. What is the point?
I don't know.
Oh, Grandpa Eddie. And the female equivalent of the twins. Ew. Decides to go to the museum, where Obi-Wan, Paddington T. Bear? Okay, let's call him the old guy. Told them to. But not before having this scene.
You two coming? Jesus, I'm going to the museum.
The hell I am. You think I'll be safe here?
Don't fuck around, or I'll shoot you myself.
A real sweetheart.
Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen, taking the denial of romance to a whole new level. So they fight more random demonic minions as Edward releases some dark power.
Something connected to your amnesia? Amnesia?
It's not just that. Maybe Crowley's right. There's...
Ew!
It made me something dark and violent.
Whew.
I know I've done fucked up things.
Alright, stop. Stop right there. Seriously, I've been letting this thing slide for the entire game so far, but right now it's starting to annoy me. So I'm going to bring it up. What is with the potty mouth on this thing? Seriously, it's like every second line the voice actor for Edward says is a swear word. I mean, was it contractually obliged and obligated to do it? I can't see any point. I mean, if you just fucking swear, you don't sound more fucking hardcore. You just sound as though you're fucking retarded, you fucking fuck shit game. Fuck. So they keep going, as one of the hellish minions makes the mistake of calling Edward Lightbringer. This prompts the personification of hold music to come up with this.
What the hell does that mean?
Lightbringer? I wonder, did you ever take Latin? I remember this much. Light is Lucis, and to bring is Pharaoh. So, Lightbringer is actually Lucifer.
What?
Lucifer.
What? How the hell do you come up with that? I mean, in what world does the idea of a Lightbringer and Satan mix? I just don't understand. I mean, do you ever think of light and the Prince of Darkness? Honestly. I mean, I get that maybe it's meant to be an ironic thing and this is meant to be that, but even if we took this as fact, this is just the biggest piece of Da Vinci Code bullshit I've ever heard. Just throwing some words in Latin together to make them sound like something does not mean that it comes true. I mean, okay, let's take a look at this. Let's look at this. Say you've got these icons, right? You could not come up with something like this. Well, realizing that the open hand stands for letting go, which another way of saying that is to relinquish, Then you have to add a 0 on the end, which could be an O, so you now have relinquish O. And then some glasses, which can also be called specs. So we now have relinquish O specs, which is kind of like relinquo spes, which means abandon hope in Latin. And since abandon is another way for the devil, and hope was last thing in Pandora's box, which Pandora being the name of that planet in the film made by James Cameron, who must assume is a director much like Uwe Boll, then we can assume that Uwe Boll is the devil. See, aside from being correct, it makes no sense! Of course, being the one-dimensional A-grade moron he is, Granddaddy Carnivore accepts that explanation and continues. They get to the museum where the ghost of Paddington Bear is. However, Sarah gets captured and fused with a tree. Hooray! Then Edward saves her. Boo!
Sucking the life from me.
Ew.
Inside I was connected to something.
That's still... Ew. They find the disconnected spirit of Gandalf, who tells them to go find Zaz.
I see anything that looks even a little bit like a bat, and this guard dies.
So you fight the whole way to him, and then all the way back to where the hell you started. Great. So you can open some portal and send everything back. However, before you do, you must face off with Crowley, the puppeteer behind this whole mad charade, a man so powerful that he erased your memory and has survived this whole ordeal in fairly good nick. This will result in an epic battle, a real marvel for the ages, something that will define this game in the panels of time.
Was it a pleasant walk?
Or it could be another piece of crap that means nothing. Hey, with this game, I'm not surprised. Anyway, they reach the portal and open it, only to discover it is not in fact the reset button, but really the release gate for Satan, as he attempts to enter the world through Edward. But finally fulfilling the whole reason she was actually put in this game, Sarah pushes you out of the way and begins to be possessed by the Lord of Darkness. So this leads to another light versus dark side choice, where you're supposed to choose between whether you kill the woman whose love you have built up over this entire game, this woman who you love with all your life, who you saved from certain death by a tree that was trying to possess her in some way. Yes, this woman who you have grown to have such admiration for. This is how I made that tough decision.
Choose, quickly, Carrie.
So with Sarah dead, Staten decides to enter you and walks away smiling, like he just ate the canary. Well, that wasn't so bad. I mean, it was a shitty game, and that was definitely not a great ending. But it was kind of nice, you know, you were possessed by the devil. If that ended up being canon and you came back as someone else just trying to stop Edward, or Edward trying to fight the devil in his own mind, I would be okay with that. I could get on board with that. So, what's the light side and, in the real world, not my fantasy world, canon ending? The devil takes over Sarah, taunts Carnby in the body of his beloved, basically saying he is going to destroy the world. So what does Carnby do? He walks off, saying he's used to losing his love.
Wait. He left the devil, the Prince of Darkness, the greatest personification of evil ever thought up by the likes of man, alive, so that he can still roam the earth, because Edward just doesn't give a shit.
Yep.
That's retarded.
Tell me about it. So does this game rank up? It's bullshit. The story is mediocre, and it relies its major plot point and twist upon some sort of flawed logic. It's buggy to the point of inusability, and it even shits all over the title, since you're not alone, you've got the worst love interest in gaming, which is quite a feat. And it's not dark because of the much touted fire mechanic. I mean, they are so in love with this fire ability that they even named the PS3 release Inferno. How can you have Dark and Inferno in the same title? It makes no sense! So that's it. And now, I'm leaving. This has been Subpar Gaming, where Respawn is your friend.
Ow! Asshole.